Lovely viewers, today's story will absolutely melt your hearts, because what we're about to share is one of the sweetest and most heartwarming moments in the life of our beloved Lee Min-ho. Imagine waking up to the sight of the superstar actor, not on a movie set, not in a fancy photo shoot, but right at home, being a doting father, gently feeding and playing with his adorable twins. This isn't a drama scene, this is real life. A real moment that fans across the world are calling the most beautiful side of Lee Min-ho we've ever seen. Early this morning, a short clip surfaced online, shared by someone close to the couple, showing Lee Min-ho in a simple gray t-shirt, hair slightly messy, sitting cross-legged on the floor of what looked like a cozy, sunlit living room. And right in front of him were his two adorable twins, one on each side, giggling uncontrollably as their father made the silliest faces just to make them laugh. Fans immediately flooded the comment section with words like, "Best dad ever," "I can't handle this cuteness," and "Song Hye-kyo must be smiling from ear to ear watching this." As the video continued, Lee Min-ho could be seen holding a tiny baby spoon, carefully feeding one of the twins with a bowl of mashed fruit while the other tried to grab the spoon with a cheeky grin. Instead of scolding, he just laughed, saying something softly that made both babies squeal with joy. It was such a pure, unfiltered moment that truly showed a side of Lee Min-ho we rarely get to see. Not the polished star, not the red carpet gentleman, but the everyday father who finds happiness in the smallest, most genuine moments. Lovely viewers, you could feel the warmth through the screen. The room itself radiated comfort. Soft pastel colors, little toys scattered around, and a large teddy bear propped against the wall. And there was Lee Min-ho, completely at peace, his focus entirely on his little ones. At one point, he even got down on all fours to crawl around the floor, pretending to be a horse while the twins giggled so loudly that even Song Hye-kyo, who was reportedly behind the camera, couldn't hold back her laughter. You could hear her gentle chuckle as she whispered, "They're going to remember this forever." Viewers couldn't stop talking about how effortlessly natural Lee Min-ho looked as a father. For years, fans have admired him for his charm and acting talent, but now they're seeing a side that feels even more special. His ability to nurture, to love, and to connect so deeply with his family. People online began calling him the K-drama dad of the year, and some even joked that the twins already have their father's charisma because they were smiling and posing like little stars even in their pajamas. The tenderest part came when Lee Min-ho sat on the couch, one twin nestled in each arm, humming softly while rocking them to sleep. His voice was barely audible, but you could make out the familiar tune, a gentle lullaby. Fans speculate it might be the same melody he once mentioned in an interview, a song his mother used to sing to him when he was a child. The way he looked at his babies, full of pride, wonder, and pure love, could make anyone tear up. It's amazing how Lee Min-ho has transitioned so gracefully from the global superstar we've watched on screen to a loving husband and now, a hands-on father. Every gesture in that video, from wiping his child's tiny chin after feeding to tucking them in with care, spoke volumes about his heart. He's not afraid to show affection. He's not too busy for playtime. He's not above getting a little messy if it means seeing those tiny smiles. Lovely viewers, isn't that what true happiness looks like? Not the fame, not the awards, but the quiet joy of being surrounded by family, by love that expects nothing but presence. Lee Min-ho has always been admired for his professionalism, but now fans admire him for his humanity. Seeing him like this makes many reflect on how far he's come, from being the romantic hero on screen to becoming the real-life hero in his children's eyes. Reports say that Song Hye-kyo often joins in these playful mornings too, but this particular day she decided to capture the moment instead of being in it. And honestly, who could blame her? Watching her husband bond so beautifully with their twins must have been a sight she wanted to treasure forever. She even shared a small part of the video on her Instagram story with a simple caption, "My world in one frame." Within minutes, it broke the internet. Comments flooded in from fans around the globe, congratulating the couple for building such a wholesome, loving home. As the video spread, one thing became clear. Lee Min-ho's fans are absolutely enchanted by this new phase of his life. Many expressed how happy they are to see him thriving not just professionally but personally. Some even said they hope to see a family variety show featuring Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo, just to witness more of these precious moments. Imagine that, lovely viewers. Lee Min-ho chasing after his twins while Song Hye-kyo laughs in the background. It's the kind of scene that reminds everyone that even the biggest stars are humans who crave love, laughter and connection. Later in the day, a few lucky fans who saw him outside his home said he looked calm and refreshed, holding a baby bottle in one hand and smiling warmly as he waved at them. It's that down-to-earth quality that makes people adore him even more. He might have played countless romantic leads, but the role of dad seems to be the one he's playing with the most heart. There's something incredibly touching about seeing a man like Lee Min-ho, who has millions of fans and global fame, find his greatest joy not in luxury or spotlight, but in the everyday chaos of parenting. Whether it's changing diapers, making baby food, or singing lullabies, he's doing it all with grace and laughter. And every little moment he shares gives fans a glimpse into what love truly means. Patience, tenderness, and joy in the smallest things. Lovely viewers, this story isn't just about a celebrity dad. It's about seeing love in action, real, tangible love. When you see Lee Min-ho holding his babies close, when you hear those giggles filling the air, you realize that this is what life's all about. Family, togetherness, and memories that will last a lifetime. And for those who followed his journey for years, this chapter feels like the perfect continuation, not just of his career, but of his heart's story. As the morning sun streamed through the window and the twins finally dozed off, Lee Min-ho gently covered them with a soft blanket, kissed each forehead, and quietly whispered something that only a parent would say, words of love that need no translation. And as he turned to the camera with a smile, you could almost hear him saying through his eyes, "This is my happiness." Lovely viewers, isn't that just beautiful? From the boyish heartthrob of dramas to the devoted father we see today, Lee Min-ho continues to inspire millions, not through grand gestures but through simple, genuine love. And as we wrap up this touching moment, one thing's for sure. The world just got a little brighter seeing him embrace fatherhood so naturally. The peaceful silence of the home was only broken by the gentle hum of the morning breeze brushing through the curtains. Song Hye-kyo, still holding her phone, caught one last shot of her husband looking at their babies with a kind of love that words can barely describe. She smiled softly, knowing that in that one frame, she had captured a moment that would mean everything to them one day. A father's love frozen in time. Minutes later, Lee Min-ho made his way to the kitchen, still barefoot, his shirt slightly wrinkled, his hair a little messy, but there was something incredibly endearing about his simplicity. He started preparing breakfast for Song Hye-kyo, just as he often does on slow mornings. A warm cup of coffee, some toasted bread, a little fruit salad. Nothing fancy, just full of care. When she joined him, still in her comfy robe, they exchanged that look. The look only couples who deeply understand each other can share. It was like they were saying, "We did it, another beautiful morning together." Fans who saw the short clip online couldn't stop gushing about how domestic and peaceful their life looked. One fan wrote, "It's so nice to see Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo not just as actors, but as real people, as parents, as partners who truly adore one another." Another fan added, "Their love story is proof that sometimes fairy tales can be real, just quieter, softer, and even more beautiful than what we see on screen." Later in the day, a new photo surfaced, this time of Lee Min-ho outside in the backyard, holding the twins as they reached out to touch the leaves of a small potted tree. The morning sunlight danced across their faces, highlighting the joy and innocence in the children's eyes. Lee Min-ho was pointing to a butterfly that had landed nearby, whispering something that made both kids giggle. It was pure, unfiltered happiness, the kind that can only come from the love between a parent and their children. Lovely viewers, one of the most touching details was how involved Lee Min-ho has been with everything related to the twins. From late-night feedings to early morning playtime, he's there every step of the way. A close family friend even revealed in an interview that Lee Min-ho never misses the twins' bedtime routine. He reads them a story every night, no matter how busy his schedule gets. Apparently, his favorite bedtime story to read is a children's tale about two stars that always find their way back to each other, no matter how far apart they drift. Fans couldn't help but draw parallels between that story and his real-life love story with Song Hye-kyo. two stars who found their way back to each other against all odds. As the day went on, the couple reportedly decided to take the twins for a short stroll around their private garden. Song Hye-kyo carried one baby while Lee Min-ho gently pushed the stroller for the other. They laughed softly, occasionally stopping to take pictures of the twins as they tried to grab at the flowers. A few lucky neighbors caught glimpses of them and described the sight as straight out of a movie. One even said, "They look happier than ever. You can see it in their eyes." Lovely viewers, isn't that just beautiful? Watching their journey unfold feels like watching the perfect love story, one that continues to grow with each shared smile, each gentle touch, each little laugh from their babies. What's even more heartwarming is how grounded they've remained despite the spotlight constantly following them. Both Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo have reportedly made it a priority to raise their children away from too much public attention, wanting them to grow up in peace and simplicity, surrounded by love rather than pressure. In the afternoon, another small moment melted everyone's hearts. According to one of the staff members in their household, Lee Min-ho decided to play the piano, a gentle melodic tune, while the twins napped nearby. Song Hye-kyo sat beside him, her head resting on his shoulder, both of them swaying slightly to the music. The atmosphere was pure magic. It wasn't about grand gestures or luxury. It was about love expressed through everyday moments, the kind of intimacy that's quiet but unbreakable. Lovely viewers, you could say this is the new chapter for Lee Min-ho, one where the spotlight doesn't come from cameras but from the glow of his family's love. Many fans believe that this phase of his life has made him even more captivating because it's genuine. Gone are the days when his charm was just about good looks and charisma on screen. Now it's about warmth, patience, and the way he holds his children like they're the most precious things in the world. Later in the evening, Song Hye-kyo shared another subtle post on her social media, a black and white photo of Lee Min-ho's hand holding the twins' tiny fingers. The caption simply read, "Forever my home." It was elegant, simple, yet deeply emotional. Fans flooded the comments with messages of love and admiration. One comment said, "You two make love look effortless," while another added, "I never believed in soulmates until I saw you both." And it's not hard to see why people feel that way, lovely viewers. Every glimpse of this family radiates authenticity, a reminder that behind the fame and success, they are just two people in love, creating a world of laughter and tenderness for their children. Lee Min-ho has shown us that the truest form of strength isn't in his roles as powerful characters, but in his ability to nurture, protect, and love with every fiber of his being. As night fell, the twins stirred in their sleep, and Lee Min-ho, ever the gentle father, quietly returned to their nursery. The soft glow of a night lamp filled the room, illuminating his silhouette as he leaned over to check on them. One twin reached out, holding on to his finger even in their sleep. Lee Min-ho smiled, brushing a strand of hair from his child's face, then whispered softly, "I'll always be here." Those words, though simple, carried the weight of a promise that only a loving father could make. Song Hye-kyo joined him moments later, wrapping her arm around his waist as they both stood there watching their babies sleep. It was one of those moments that didn't need words, just quiet gratitude, shared between two hearts that have seen the world but found their peace right here, in this small, tender corner of their home. Lovely viewers, can you feel it? That overwhelming warmth, that serenity that comes from love so real it doesn't need to be performed. That's the beauty of Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo's journey. It's not about perfection but about presence. It's not about glamour but about growth. And now, with their twins by their side, every morning, every laugh, and every soft lullaby becomes part of a legacy of love that their children will one day cherish forever. So as we picture that final scene, the quiet house, the sleeping twins, and Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo holding hands under the soft glow of moonlight, we can't help but smile. Because somewhere out there, love isn't just a story from a drama. It's alive, it's real, and it's right here, in this beautiful family that reminds us all what true happiness really means. Lovely viewers, isn't that the most heartwarming thing to witness? Wouldn't you love to see more glimpses of these peaceful, loving moments from Lee Min-ho's family life? Go ahead and share your thoughts Because this story, this family, and this love are proof that some mornings and some hearts are just too beautiful to forget. The kind of happiness that doesn't come from applause or awards, but from love, laughter, and the tiny sounds of two little babies breathing softly in the night. That peaceful silence was filled with meaning. Two parents who had walked through fame, heartbreak, and destiny, now finally sharing the most precious thing life could ever give them, a family of their own. A few minutes later, Lee Min-ho gently guided Song Hye-kyo toward the living room. They didn't speak much, but they didn't have to. The connection between them was effortless, the kind that doesn't need explanation. He poured her a glass of warm tea, the steam curling softly into the cool night air, while she smiled and rested her head on his shoulder. The city outside was alive with distant lights, but inside, their home felt like its own quiet universe. Song Hye-kyo looked at her husband and whispered with a smile, "You're doing such a great job, Min-ho." He chuckled, brushing her hand affectionately. "I learned from the best." Lovely viewers, it was such a simple exchange, but it spoke volumes. It wasn't about who was the bigger star or who had more fame. It was about partnership, respect, and the balance they'd built together as parents. They've both faced the pressures of celebrity life, but here at home they were just mom and dad. Two people doing their best to give their children a childhood full of love and peace. The next morning came softly, with sunlight spilling through the curtains again, painting golden streaks across the nursery. The twins stirred, one letting out a soft cry that immediately brought Lee Min-ho out of bed. His instincts kicked in, the kind every loving parent understands, and within seconds he was beside the crib, his gentle voice filling the room. "Good morning, my little sunshine," he murmured, lifting the baby carefully into his arms. Song Hye-kyo watched from the doorway, her heart swelling at the sight. Lovely viewers, this time, the twins were in extra high spirits. As soon as Lee Min-ho picked them up, they began giggling uncontrollably, kicking their tiny legs and reaching for his face. He leaned down, pretending to nibble their little hands, which only made them laugh harder. It was such a wholesome scene, the kind that fills you with warmth even if you're just imagining it. Song Hye-kyo soon joined in, playfully holding the other twin while Min-ho made exaggerated animal sounds to make them giggle even more. And guess what? Their laughter echoed throughout the house like a melody. Even the staff couldn't help but smile. It said that every morning in their home feels like a celebration, not of luxury, but of life itself. Their twins' laughter has become the soundtrack of their days, and Lee Min-ho has made it his mission to make sure those giggles never stop. Later that morning after breakfast, the family decided to step out into their garden again. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of blooming flowers. Lee Min-ho carried both twins, one resting on his shoulder and the other nestled in his arm, while Song Hye-kyo followed closely behind, snapping candid photos with her phone. The scene was almost cinematic. Sunlight filtering through the trees, the soft sound of birds, and the gentle laughter of a family wrapped in joy. Lovely viewers, as fans later discovered, one of those photos found its way online, posted quietly by a close family friend. It showed Lee Min-ho crouched down in the grass, one twin sitting on his knee while the other tugged at his sleeve. The caption read, "Love looks like this." Within minutes, fans from all over the world began sharing it, flooding the internet with love and admiration. Some wrote, "He's not just a heartthrob anymore. He's a hero at home." Others said, "This is the Lee Min-ho we never knew we needed to see. Raw, kind, real." That afternoon, Song Hye-kyo reportedly sat down with an interviewer from a close magazine friend who asked about their new life as parents. She smiled softly and said, "Every day feels like a gift. We used to chase schedules, scripts, and deadlines. Now we chase little footsteps around the house. And somehow, it's the most beautiful chaos we've ever known." Her words instantly went viral, melting hearts everywhere. Lee Min-ho, too, spoke about fatherhood in a short fan message later that week. He wrote, "They've changed me. Laugh more. I listen more. I love more deeply. Every morning I wake up, I'm reminded that life isn't about perfection. It's about the moments that make your heart feel full." Lovely viewers, Isn't that just the most touching confession? It's not every day you hear one of the world's biggest stars speak so openly and humbly about the simple joys of being a dad. That evening, as twilight painted the sky in soft hues of pink and gold, the family gathered again in their living room. Song Hye-kyo brought out a small set of musical toys, a little drum, a xylophone, and some rattles, gifts from their close friends.